All right, here's test correction problem number 10. The Band Booster Club is making mums to sell for homecoming. Each ribbon that goes on the mum costs $3 and each small trinket costs $1. You want to buy a mum for your date to homecoming, but you want to spend at most $45. Which of the following is not a reasonable answer for this situation if X represents trinkets and Y represents ribbons? So make sure we underline this word not, so we're looking at for what doesn't work. So step 1 says read the question and determine what the variables stand for. Well, it tells us here that X is trinkets and Y is ribbons. And if we go back into the problem, we see that ribbons are $3, trinkets are $1. That will be important. So now we're going to write an equation / inequality to match the situation. For this situation, it's an inequality because of these words at most right here. So I'm going to write an inequality. So trinkets are $1, so 1 times X, plus my $3 ribbons, 3 times Y, has to be at most $45. So that means it is less than or equal to 45, because 45 is the maximum. It has to be that or smaller. Then I'm going to plug in numbers for my answer choices to see which one is correct. So I'm going to label them as X and Y. So I have X and Y. I'm going to plug in what I know. So 2 and 2. So if X is 2, so I have 1 times 2 plus 3 times 2 has to be less than or equal to 45. If I do this, I get 2 plus 6 is less than or equal to 45, and 2 plus 6 is 8, and 8 is definitely less than or equal to 45. So this one works, we're good, but remember it says not. So that one is not an answer because it does work. So we'll check B. So I have X is 8, so 1 times 8 is 8, plus 3 times 17 has to be less than or equal to 45. And so I end up with 8 plus 51 has to be less than or equal to 45. And if I do 51 plus 8, I get that that is 59, and 59 is not less than or equal to 45. It's greater than. So this one doesn't work. So I'm pretty sure my answer is B. But just to be sure, because it is a not question and it involves a lot, we're going to check the next two because it's good practice. So if X is 15, I end up with 15 plus 3 times Y is 2 has to be less than or equal to 45. Well, that means 15 plus 6. And 15 plus 6 is 21, which is definitely less than or equal to 45. So this one works, so it can't be C. And then if I do 0, 0, well, that means I bought 0 of these plus 0 of those has to be less than or equal to 45. Well, that just makes 0 because it's 0 plus 0, and that's definitely less than or equal to 45. So that one doesn't work either. So yes, the answer is B. This is the one that is not true. So make sure you also, when you do these kinds of questions, that you always go back to that very last sentence and read the question so you know what's being asked for. Sometimes it'll say not, sometimes it won't. You have to know what you're being asked.